So guys, we are now moving on over to the Paris Legon Home Series weekend event right here. Now, we're going to start off with the Florida Mutineers, the Minnesota Rocker Home Series champions, taking on the Paris Legon to defend their home turf. This is, of course, June 19th through the 21st right here, and the Paris Legon and Florida Mutineers matchup is your marquee matchup because of the timing in Paris. Next up, you have the Dallas Empire taking on the London Royal Ravens. Guys, right there, with Scraps and all of them really kind of getting into momentum, making it to a finals at the Seattle Surge Home Series. I believe they're going to take Dallas to the edge and win 3-2 over them. OGLA taking on the New York Subliners. Now, this is a very interesting one right here. Both teams are very good now. And whenever I say very good, I mean very good. Subliners are just putting in work in scrims. OGLA is doing the same thing, but they are winning tournaments. Not tournaments, but matches at the tournaments to make it to semifinals or whatever the case may be. Toronto Ultra taking on the Atlanta FaZe. Now, this is a very great matchup right here. I do like this for the Atlanta FaZe because Atlanta FaZe, they could test out something new and try it on Toronto Ultra. And if everything works well, I could see, honestly, Atlanta FaZe winning the Paris Legon Home Series weekend. So I'm hoping there is... no, the back bracket builder. Let's go there. If they got, yes, they do. So we are going to go and make our own bracket for the Paris Legon Home Series weekend. So, of course, you have the Legion taking on the Florida Mutineers. I'm going to say the Florida Mutineers is going to win 3-1 over the Legion. Royal Ravens is going to win 3-2 over the Dallas Empire. New York Subliners taking on the OGLA squad. I believe this is going to be a close one, but OGLA will pull off the dub right here against the Subliners. So that'll be a 3-2 matchup right here in favor of OG. Atlanta FaZe taking on the Toronto Ultra. Depending on how FaZe plays in that first game on Hardpoint, I'm going to go ahead and still say Atlanta FaZe 3-1 over the Toronto Ultra. So now for your knockout round, number 1, you have the Legion taking on the Empire. Probably a 3-0 in that scenario. Florida Mutineers, London Royal Ravens to head to Championship Sunday. I'm taking the Florida Mutineers right here in a 3-2 matchup. So now in your knockout round 2, you have the Royal Ravens taking on the Empire. Oh, goodness. This is another rematch right here. I'm honestly going to say Ravens again in a 3-2 victory over the Dallas Empire and knocking them out of the Paris Legon Home Series weekend. So now to head to Championship Sunday, who is going to take it? OGLA or Atlanta FaZe? This is going to be interesting because, again, Optic Gaming, they are now competing with the best of the best. With your Dallas Empire, your Florida Mutineers, your Huntsmen. This is really hard. But I'm going to take Atlanta FaZe. I'm going to take Atlanta FaZe going 3-2. I think it's going to come down to the wire again with Atlanta FaZe right here. So in knockout round 2, but we're forgetting the New York Subliners taking on the Toronto Ultra in knockout round 1, where I'm having the Subliners 3-0 the Toronto Ultra. So now in knockout round 2, and this is going to determine who's going to face the Florida Mutineers on Championship Sunday. Guys, I don't know. I'm still taking OGLA 3-2 like it was in the first matchup between these two teams. All right, so now the bracket is set for Championship Sunday. Florida Mutineers, Optic Gaming LA. I think we're going to have another 3-2 on our hands with Florida Mutineers taking the dub over OGLA. FaZe Royal Ravens. Guys, FaZe is going to do this. FaZe is going back to the finals, but it's going to be a 3-1 victory as well. So now who is going to win the Paris Legon Home Series weekend event right here? Is it the Mutineers or is it FaZe? Because one of these teams are going to have 3 home series under their belt. I'm saying FaZe. I am saying FaZe because they're looking at the tape right here, right now, this week. And they're going to study every single aspect of what their game has been and change that around. They're going to be more dominant, I personally think, to go out and dominate the Florida Mutineers and all their other opponents. You know, whenever it comes to the Toronto Ultra, the OGLA squad, the London Royal Ravens, they're going to dominate them. Yes, it might be close victories of 3-2 with OGLA and Royal Ravens, but the Florida Mutineers, I feel like, will only get one map on the Atlanta FaZe. And FaZe will win 3-1 and become the first team in CDO history to win 3 home series and become the best of the best. So that right there, ladies and gentlemen, was the official CDL bracket for the Paris Legon Home Series weekend event. So I'm going to click finish and save on this one right here. And of course, you'll see it on Twitter and stuff like that. And for the YouTube version, I'm going to split this up right here. I'm going to recap the Minnesota Rocker Home Series weekend event into one YouTube video, and then the Paris Legon Home Series preview in another YouTube video. And I'll probably upload that one, say, Thursday. Or heck, I might just upload both of them all on Tuesday. So who knows? But anyways, you will get that content no matter what. But if you wanted to listen to the whole thing right here, this on the podcast and platform that you are listening to is the only place to get the entire length of what those videos will be. So guys, that is all the time I have for today's episode of eTuesday here on the MorganMan Sports Podcast. But I sure hope you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to like button here on Twitter. Or, well, yeah, really, Twitter, Facebook, or wherever you are getting your podcasting from. Till then, I, Cole Morgan, will catch you all later. Peace.